I could see her standing behind Dawn with the frying pan, couldn't you?
Yeah.
You better tell her, Donnie.
Yeah.
You better stand up for me this time.
Get her.
We always talking to Sheriff for her. What's that all about?
Yeah, Donnie. Something going on.
I think Candace may be abusing Dawn.
Maybe, because he totally changes when she's around.
Changes his tune when the old lady's in the background, don't he?
Yeah.
Ah, Sherry, you suck.
Maybe in their relationship, she's the more dominant one. We just don't know about it.
Could be. Anyway, see, that'll be our opening. Be nice, won't it?
Mm-hmm.
Cher's having a live stream. Throughout the beginning of the live stream, she's talking about how she's arguing with Dawn, texting back and forth, right? At this point, she's got him blocked. And then Dawn rolls up, pops up in chat. I was there. I seen this shit live. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Something comes up, but it's shaded in the chat. And they do that because there's a bad word in it or something like that.
Right.
And you figure it's somebody trolling, something like that. I read it. Drop me a link, bitch.
Oh, it must be Donnie.
D-Dub's in the house. Block D-Dub. He's coming to you live. Block D-Dub. You didn't think he was going to roll up? Shit. D-Dub in the house. Right?
Right.
And you could tell D-Dub had been drinking.
Oh, yeah.
It starts up. Cher says, Don, we're going to speak to each other nicely? Don replies, you never speak nicely, B-word.
I guess that's a hell no.
And it's B-word every other word for the next however long this lasted. I didn't time it, but it seemed like a minute.
Yeah.
It was Dawn v. Cher, didn't it?
Yeah.
Went on up for a few. I thought he had probably been drinking, but he confirms it early, right? When he calls Cher a YouTubian N-word.
What? That's one of his favorite words. Not the YouTubian, but the other one.
Yeah, but he don't use it. He ain't bold enough to be using it unless he's drinking.
Yeah.
And you know what? I didn't hear any mention of the Lord last night unless it had a damn following it.
No, he's two different people, really. Either reading the Bible or saying every cuss word in the book.
That's the drunk Don Tim Mullins warned you about.
Oh, yeah. He was taken up for him, wasn't he?
Yeah. Tim Mullen says, everybody knows the drunk Don. They don't know the good dude, right? Yeah. We know the drunk Don. We seen him again last night.
We see him all the time.
Constantly. The Christian Don's getting more rare.
Yeah.
If one of them's going to show up, I'm expecting
the drunk one.
The drunk one.
Especially if it's after 5 p.m.
And it was after 5. Don says, Cher, more of a suspect than Tim.
What?
What Don said. He suspects Cher over Tim. Don said, Cher, you married a Canadian to handle your shit because you can't handle your shit yourself.
Well, it's a little racist there.
But you gotta drag nationalities into this shit for D-Dub. Don switches it up for a minute. Actually calls Cher a witch. You got a small vocabulary when you only change one letter, you know what?
Yeah, really. He got tired of saying the other word.
I know there's got to be another word.
That's how he talks to women.
One point, Don seems to kind of give away the fact that he thinks Canada and the UK one and the same.
Yeah, I think he really didn't know the difference. He said that 2 times.
Yeah, thinks they're the same. One point, Don, he does thank God. Thanks God that Cher ain't in the States. Don't you cross that border, girl.
No.
Cher tells Don, ask your wife about the lies. Don says, I have.
That says it all.
We was waiting for a slip-up. I felt like that might have been one.
Yeah.
He didn't say she wasn't lying. He said he'd asked her about them.
Yeah.
He didn't tell us what she said, but he said he's asked. That was wild, wasn't it?
Yeah. What do you get from that?
That he's asked her, and he thinks she's lying too.
Yeah. What else can you get from that?
What else can you draw from that conclusion? Don throws us down a guarantee. He says, Cher, I guarantee you more people believe me than you.
Yeah, right.
I don't know, Don. I don't know what numbers you're seeing, but
yeah, really.
The ones I'm looking at don't suggest that's true.
No.
Don described Cher as the most evilest bee he's ever saw in his life. So in 58 years, Cher's the worst one he's come across. Evilest.
Now this week, he said that before.
Mind you, all this has pretty much gotten blown up because she don't like Tim Mullen.
That's all. All the issue, the whole issue.
You know, whether Candace likes it or not, before last night, Don was pro-Cher.
Yeah, bros before who?
Don once again says Cher run off to the UK.
Come on, Donnie.
Come on, Dawn.
Why did I call him?
Did you miss geography? Because he goes by Donnie Wells. Don't call Cher a straight hoe.
That's kind of rude.
Dawn says, reason we can't put a timeline out, because then the perpetrator will have it.
What the hell? Like he's on a reenact the crime.
I kind of think the perpetrator knows the timeline, Dawn.
Yeah, duh. That makes no sense.
You lost me on that.
Lost me too.
And Candace from the background calls Cher the C word.
The nastiest word there is.
C blank blank T.
You can fill in the blank.
Not a good look the night before court. Y'all up doing this kind of shit.
Drinking and...
Seen who calls somebody the worst name?
Mm-hmm. I always get the feeling, though, Candace is more drunk than Dawn from how she talks. What do you think?
I think she's the dominant.
Yeah, the dominant relation. I get that. He acts big and bad around his woman.
Cher's talking about the swimsuit from the day Summer went missing. And at one point, Dawn even says something to Candace, and he's like, she's talking about the swimsuit, and Candace is like, what swimsuit?
What swimsuit? More like it.
We know you knew what she was talking about. Why don't you just say, that has nothing to do with nothing, that swimsuit's blah blah, What swimsuit? Odd you dodge the question, but you acknowledge it, but you dodge it. Strange.
Yeah.
Then you keep hearing Candace in the background. Cher, shut up! Shut up!
Yeah, she's probably back there reading.
I know you guys are slow, but you do realize you're on her channel, on her panel,
Right.
acting like she needs to shut up.
Yeah. You get her, Donnie. You get her. You get that Cher.
You're on her live stream telling her to shut up. I think it's true, they should be quiet. She was talking to Dawn. Don't be interfering.
It's kind of rude.
That's when it goes down. Dawn hangs her up. Had enough. Can't put up with this shit no more.
He acts like Cher's calling him and trying to get him on the line. He came to Cher. Really?
That's why I talk about it. It's like we live in alternate realities from some people. How do you think? Not a good look.
No, it's not.
My takeaway is, if you can take away anything from a drunken argument on a live stream, it's two things. Number one, Dawn and Candace on the night before court are doing this. They're not victims here, okay? They voluntarily went on a live stream.
Yep.
Dawn once again showed us how racist he is. Shows us he's still drinking. And this is the night before court. And the biggest takeaway from it all is all this whole live stream thing was about Tim Mullen at the core. Dawn had an extreme reaction for some reason to Cher talking about Tim Mullen in a poor light. It's odd that Tim Mullen wouldn't have been the one fighting this battle. It's strange that Dawn is. Why is Dawn so triggered by Cher talking about Tim Mullen over other things?
Yeah, it makes you think there's something more.
Makes you think Dawn gets awfully upset when people talk about Tim Mullen. I don't know.
He gets more upset over that than talking about daughter. Really?
Shows more emotion.
Yeah, emotion. Yeah.
Get more reaction and emotion out of either one of them over Tim Mullen being talked about than anything. Odd.